Subtracting fractions estimation strategies, item 4244. You serve 2.5 gallons of punch at a party. Your friends drink 1 3/4 gallons of the punch. Which of these containers is the smallest you can use to store the remaining punch? Let's look at the math helps. Help 1. A picture can be used to think about the problem. 2.5 gallons served. All right, so 1 whole gallon, 2 whole gallons, and this is a half a gallon. And 1 3/4 of the gallons were removed. So these blue lines show that this 1 whole gallon was consumed at the party, and then this is 3/4. I like to visualize 3/4 by cutting it in half in my head and then cutting the halves in half. So if you cut it in half here, you can see that, and then again here, you can see it's 1, 2, 3/4 of punch are removed. So we have this much punch left and this much punch left. All right. Now here's a different model. It's a number line. 2.5 gallons of punch, 1 gallon, 2.5 gallons, and 1 3/4 consumed. So if we go back 1 gallon from 2.5, we go to here. You can see that's the same distance as from 0 to 1. So 1 gallon, going back a half, 1.5 gallons, and then a half of a half is a fourth. So 1.5, which is 1/2 is 2/4. Now 1 3/4. So we're here. So the question is, what's the smallest container we need to hold this amount of punch right here? Or looking at it with this other model, which I think makes more sense since we are talking about containers of liquid. What's the smallest size container we need to hold this amount of punch plus this? Will this fit in this container? I think it will. And what size is this container? Let's look at our choices. The smallest container we need. Will that amount fit in a half-gallon container? I don't think so, because this is a half-gallon right here. And if we pour that in, it would spill out of a half-gallon container. So that's not big enough. Would it fit in a 1 gallon container? Well, this represents 1 gallon. So could we pour this amount of punch into there and it would fit? Absolutely, it would, in a 1 gallon container. Now, 2 gallons and 4 1/4 gallons are much bigger than that. The question says, what's the smallest container we need? So the answer is 1 gallon.